Okay. So cloud, as we know that it is a virtualization concept. So we always call cloud as a virtualization concept. So virtualization concept means very simple. We'll try to take an example of it. Okay. So yeah, so we'll try to take an example of what is cloud. If you take an example of Google Drive, so Google Drive, something that we always use, right? So Google Drive, in our daily life, we will always use this Google Drive. So why do we use Google Drive? Can someone message in the chat box? Why do we use this Google Drive? What is the use of this Google Drive? We always use this Google Drive, right? So why do we use this Google Drive? Can someone post your answers in the chat box if you don't mind? Okay. Yeah. So Google Drive is something to store the data. Google Drive is something to store the data. Let's say, for example, I have two mobiles with me. Let's say this is mobile one. This is a mobile one. And I have another mobile. I have another mobile. I have another mobile. So here, let's say, using of this mobile, I'm trying to upload or I'm trying to store some data. I'm trying to store some data using of this mobile one. So I have installed some application like Google Drive application. I installed some Google Drive application. Let's say this is a Google Drive application. So I'm storing my data. I'm storing my data into this Google Drive. And let's say in the mobile too, instead of having a Google Drive, so I had some memory card with this. So memory card with me. Let's say there is a memory card. So here also, I'm uploading some data into I'm uploading some data into this memory card. I'm uploading some data into this memory card. If I lose the mobile one, is my data is going to be lost? If I lose my mobile one, if someone stolen my mobile one. So what about my data? Is my data is safe or is my data like, am I going to lose my data in mobile one?
We are going to have the data.
We are going to have the data. Yes. In the mobile too. If I lose the mobile too, if I forget my mobile, obviously I'm going to lose my data. Right? This is the difference between mobile one and mobile two. In the mobile one, I'm going to use Google Drive. It means my data is not getting stored in the mobile one, right? So that is the reason, even though if I lose my mobile one, I'm not going to lose my data. In mobile one, when I'm uploading my data into the Google Drive, so what it is happening, there is another server. There is another server. There is another server. This is a Google Drive server. This is a Google Drive server. This is a Google Drive server. So my data is getting uploaded. My data is getting uploaded with the help of this Google Drive application. It is getting uploaded into the Google Drive. If I lost my mobile, I'll take another mobile and I'll sign in with the same email ID so that I can get my data again. But in the mobile too, so we are having a physical memory card within the mobile so that if I lose my mobile too, I'm going to lose my data. Here, the difference between mobile 1 and mobile 2 is in mobile 1, we are not maintaining our data. We are not maintaining anything. We are just uploading it. It is getting uploaded with the help of a Google Drive application and it is uploading into a different server. But in the mobile 2, in the example 2, we are maintaining our data. We are maintaining our physical device.
Demo ఒకటి జాయిన్ అయ్యాను
You got the
ఏడబ్ల్యూ
difference, right? Can you
క్లాస్
please,
ఒకటి ఉంటే
Anil, can you please go on mute? Okay. So in the example one, instead of uploading our data into the directly or into a physical device, we are uploading into a Google Drive so that the server which is related to this Google Drive, it is maintained by Google. And in mobile too, we are going to maintain our data. So this is nothing but a cloud. Instead of you maintaining your hardware, if someone else is maintaining that, instead of you maintaining your hardware, if someone else is maintaining that, it is nothing but a Google Drive. It is nothing but a cloud. If you are maintaining your hardware, if you are maintaining your infrastructure, if you are maintaining in your premises, so it is nothing but on-premises infrastructure. The difference between cloud and a physical infrastructure, or the difference between cloud and an on-premises infrastructure, physical infrastructure, on-premises infrastructure, both are same. If you're maintaining your infrastructure in your premises, that we call it as a on-premises infrastructure. That is nothing but a on-premises infrastructure. If someone asks you about what is a cloud, cloud is very simple. Instead of you maintaining your infrastructure, if someone else is maintaining your infrastructure, we call it as a cloud. Here, if you talk about Google Drive, so when you upload any data into the Google Drive, are you maintaining any physical device with you? The answer is no, right? Am I right or wrong? If you are using a Google Drive, are you maintaining any physical device with you? You will never maintain any physical device with you when you are using a Google Drive. You are just simply uploading the data from your laptop. But if you are using any physical hard disk or memory card or anything, you are going to maintain your physical infrastructure, right? The difference between cloud and a physical infrastructure is if you are maintaining your infrastructure, that is nothing but a physical infrastructure. If on behalf of you, if someone else is maintaining it, so it is nothing but a cloud infrastructure, which is nothing but a virtualization. Clear? So let's say if I take another example, see if I have a laptop in front of me. So there is a laptop in front of me, right? There is a laptop in front of me. So I'm using this laptop and I'm going to maintain this laptop. Like let's say I'm going to plug in the charge, or if there is any issue with the hardware, I'm going to repair it. Everything I'm doing it, right? I'm maintaining this. So this computer is a physical computer for me. This laptop is a physical laptop for me. Let's say if you are connecting to the same computer from the remote desktop, from your location, if you're trying to access this computer, in your point of view, it is nothing but a virtual machine. So you have to understand the difference between physical machine. You have to understand the difference between physical machine. You have to understand the and virtual machine. The difference between physical machine and virtual machine. What is the difference between physical machine and virtual machine? If you are maintaining and the machine is with you, which is nothing but a physical machine. And if you are not maintaining it, if you are just using it, the machine is maintained by someone and located in a different place. That we call it as a virtual machine. So that is the difference between physical machine and virtual machine. In cloud platform, whatever we create, everything is virtual. In cloud platform, it can be AWS or it can be Azure or it can be Google Cloud Platform, anything, whatever it is, whatever you create, it is nothing but virtual. So virtual means there is no physical infrastructure that is maintained by you, right? Always what you do, you'll just go and you'll create whatever you want, and it is maintained by someone else. And it is pay as you go model. It is pay as you go model. So pay as you go model means, let's say for example, if I need a computer and if I wanted to use for just 8 hours, so I can create a computer in cloud and we can call it as a virtual machine. I can create a virtual machine in cloud. So it is just a virtual machine. So if you're running it for 5 hours, you'll pay for 5 hours. If you're running it for 10 hours, you'll pay for 10 hours. Let's say cloud is having a lot of services, not just to create a virtual machine. Cloud is having hundreds of services. Creating of a virtual machine is one of the service. Learning of cloud is nothing but learning of these services. So cloud is providing a lot of AWS is providing a lot of services. Google Cloud is providing a lot of services. Microsoft Azure is providing a lot of services. Learning of these cloud platforms is nothing but learning of the services which are offered by these cloud platforms. Let's say we talk about a laptop. Okay. You know that if I need a physical laptop, how much I need to spend? If I want a physical laptop or physical computer, I need to go to a shop. I need to buy that. I know there is a hardware, RAM, CPU, memory, or whatever it is. I have to select it, and based on that, you'll be buying a computer, right? The same computer, if you can create it in cloud platform, we will call it as a virtual machine. The same computer, if you create it in a cloud platform, we call it as a virtual machine. So virtual machine is nothing but you will be not maintaining it on behalf of you, someone else is maintaining it. And you know about a Windows computer, right? Let's try to create a Windows computer in cloud. I'll show you how to create it, and later I'll show you how to create an AWS account and all. But today, to get some clarity on what is a physical and what is a virtual. So you know already what is a physical. You know already what is a physical. So what is a physical? If a machine is with you, if a computer is with you, that is called a physical, right? If the machine is not with you, if machine is at somewhere, but still if you can able to access it, or still if you can able to use it, so that is called virtual. So today, try to get some clarity on what is the physical and what is virtual. You know what is a physical machine? Now you know. Now you'll be seeing what is a virtual machine. Let's go back. Go back to the AWS console. Let's go back to the AWS console. Let's say, let me close this. Later, I'll show you how to create an AWS account. Now I'm going to show you how to log into the AWS account. See, if I click on Google here, if I want to log in into the AWS account, simply AWS console login. If you type this, so you'll be getting the first link. You can go to the first link here. So there is an option called sign into console. What is console? See, console is not an AWS terminology. Console is something, for example, if you want to order something in Flipkart account. So what you'll be doing, you'll be creating a Flipkart account and you'll be logging into the Flipkart account. And once you log in into the Flipkart account, you can see all the products which are available in the Flipkart account, right? So you'll be ordering whatever you want. The place where you stand and where you can see all the Flipkart products, that place is nothing but a console. Similarly, if you see, if you want to use a Google Drive, so what you will do first, you'll create a Google account first and you will log in into the Google account. And once you log in into the Google account, you can able to see all the services which are offered by Google. It can be a whiteboard, or it can be a sheets, it can be a Google chart, or it can be anything, Excel, whatever it is. So in a similar way, if you want to use AWS services, so if you want to order Flipkart products, you want to log in into the Flipkart account. If you want to use some Google services, you want to log in into the Google account. If you want to book some train ticket, you need to create an IRCTC account and you need to log in into it. Similarly, if you want to use AWS services, you should be able to create an AWS account and you should be able to log in into the AWS account. Since I already have the account, right now I'm not showing you how to create an account, but I'll show you how to create an account as well. But today's agenda is we should be able to understand what is a cloud platform. Cloud platform is nothing but instead of you maintaining your hardware, someone else is maintaining it. And it is a pay as you go model. These are the 2 points that we learned. And the third point, what I'm trying to explain is what is the difference between physical machine and virtual machine. You know what is a physical machine? Physical machine is nothing but you all log attending this particular Zoom meeting from your computer, right? That is called a physical computer. So let's try to understand the same computer if I wanted to create it in cloud. So how will I create it? So to make you understand between a physical machine and virtual machine, I'm going to create a virtual machine in cloud platform. And let me log in into the AWS account, sign into the console. There is an option called sign in root user email. So let me log in into this account. 81526 @gmail.com. Okay. Enter the code as well. 82569 submit. Okay. So this is the AWS account. This is the AWS account. So this is the AWS account. You don't know how to create this account, but I'll definitely help you how to create this account later. So now we will try to understand what is the difference between physical machine and virtual machine. Okay. So we already know about what is a physical machine. As I said, in our AWS account, we have a lot of services available. We have a lot of services available. For each and every use case, there will be a service available in AWS. For each and every use case, there will be a service available in use case. Let's say, for example, I want to create a computer. To create a computer, to make you understand, I'm calling it as a computer, but we should never call it as a computer. So we should call it as a machine. Since we are creating virtually, we can call it as a virtual machine. And in AWS terminology, we will call it as a instance. In AWS terminology, we will call it as a instance. So here now, if I go back, so this instance can be created with the help of a service called EC2. Okay. As I said, మనం ప్రతి పని చేయడానికి ఒక సర్వీస్ అనేది అవైలబుల్గా ఉంటుంది. ఆ సర్వీస్ని సెర్చ్ చేసుకుని విల్ బి క్రియేటింగ్ దట్ పర్టికులర్ resource. So you can see EC2 here, virtual servers in the cloud. So that is what we are going to explore, right? Virtual server is nothing but a virtual machine. If I click on EC2 here, if I click on EC2 here, see there is an option called launch instance. Instead of calling it as a computer, instead of calling it as a virtual machine, so we can call it as a instance. If I click on launch instance here, simple. To make you understand, I'll create a Windows machine because you all have the Windows computers with you, right? The same computer, today I'm going to create it in a cloud platform, which is in Amazon Web Services. Okay. So let's say, for example, if I open this and let's name it as a Windows. Let's name it as a Windows because I'm going to create a Windows computer now. Scroll down, scroll down. Let's select the Windows operating system here. I'll explain you all these steps later, but to try to understand the difference between physical machine and a virtual machine. So I'm going to select Windows here. You can see the Windows here. Scroll down, and I'm leaving all these different steps. So key pair is something like a password. Let me name it as a password. Password Windows, and click on create. Scroll down and just click on launch instance. Just click on launch instance. Okay. Yes, it is created. Now you can see this is a Windows computer. This is a Windows computer that we created, but it is a virtual machine. It is not a physical machine. The only difference between physical machine and virtual machine is physical machine will be located in your premises nearby you. Virtual machine is located at some other place and maintained by someone, but you can use it. Okay. Now, after creating this mission, we just need to wait for just couple of minutes. We just created it, right? We have to wait for 4 minutes at least to log in into this mission. Let's refresh. Let's refresh. You're getting my point, right, everyone? Yes or no, please? Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Others, can you, Diksha, Mohammed, Preet, Srinivas, Swami, Vamsi? Okay. So we are trying to understand the difference between physical machine and virtual machine. Physical machine is a computer which is with us, and virtual machine we are going to create it in cloud platform. Now let's refresh this, and to log in into this, we need to generate a password first. If I click on connect here, there is an option called RDP client here. So the username is administrator here, and there is an option called get password here, right? So we just need to click on get password, click on get password here, and we need to upload a file. So we have created one key pair while creating this Windows machine. You have to upload this. Just click on this and upload this and decrypt. So we got a password here. So let's copy this password. Let's save it in a notepad. Let's save it somewhere here in the notepad. Let me save here. And now let me log in into this machine. Now let me log in into this machine. Go back, go to the applications. So if you are using a Windows laptop, RDP, by default, you will have the RDP. Since I'm using a different operating system, I install the RDP separately. So let me click on add PC here. Yeah, here it is asking for the host name. Host name means if you go back to the instances, there is a public IP. We will try to understand what is this public IP also later. Okay. So just copy the public IP, and why we are copying this public IP also, I'll explain it later. Now go back, paste the host name, click on add, and double click this. It is asking for username. Our username is administrator, and our password is, let's go back to the notes. We copied the password here. Let's copy the password and paste the password here. Click on continue. So I'm connecting to this machine remotely. This particular Windows computer is not with me. I've created it in AWS. It is physically located somewhere, and AWS is maintaining that. But I'm connecting it from my computer here through the RDP. So we can wait for 1 minute. So it looks same our Windows computer because we created a Windows machine. So let's wait. So first time when you logged in for the first time, it just take 1 minute or 2 minutes. Next time it won't take much time. So the booting process will be happening. Yeah. So we created a Windows machine. If you can wait for 1 minute, you can get the taskbar as well. Let's wait for 1 minute. Yes. So you can see here. So it looks like same or Windows computer. So my laptop OS is Mac OS, but I connected to the Windows computer. So how come the Windows computer, how did I log into it? With the help of a RDP. So this computer is not physically with me. This Windows computer is not physically with me. AWS is maintaining this particular hardware, but I can able to log into my machine from here. So this is called virtual machine. The difference between physical machine and virtual machine is here in my case, my Mac is my physical machine and I connected to the Windows virtual machine. This Windows virtual machine is not located with me. It is located in AWS data center. So AWS is maintaining it. So that is the difference between physical machine and virtual machine. Have you got it? Is it clear, guys, everyone? You understood the difference between physical machine and virtual machine? Physical machine means which will always located in our premises. Yes or no? Everyone, yes or no? Is it clear?
Yeah.
So this is called virtual machine. Now, see, the advantage of AWS is, if I go back, so this is a virtual machine which I created in AWS. And as I said earlier, these cloud platforms are pay as you go model, right? If I stop this instance, we don't need to pay for it. We have to pay when it is in running state. So let's say if I go to the actions here, okay, or if I go to the instance state here, there is an option called stop here. If I go to stop, if I click on stop, if I refresh this, I'm stopping this instance. So I'll stop this instance. So when it is in stopped state, we don't need to pay for it. Assume that the same Windows computer, how much you need to spend if you want to buy outside. There are a lot of advantages of creating this virtual machine. Let's try to list out these advantages. See, for example, the same computer. See, if you remember in our engineering days, we all we all we all brought the computers, but the reason what we supposed to say is to learn programming languages or to learn Python or something. But the reality is we will never use it for to learn Python or to learn Java. We will just watch the movies, right? If you want to use it for to run a Python script, or if you want to do for to edit an application or anything, you need to have a certain configuration. You need to have certain RAM, certain CPUs and all. But if you want to watch just a movies, you don't require a high configuration, right? So that the cost can be deferred around 30,000 rupees or 20,000 rupees. If I want to just watch a movie, I can go and buy a computer with 25,000 rupees or something. But if I wanted to use it for to edit an application or to run a program or to do some AI ML algorithms, so I have to spend at least 30,000 rupees more, right? So based on the configuration, the price will be there. So here, is it very easy that if you buy a physical computer with 4 GB of a RAM, and tomorrow if you want to extend the RAM for 8 GB, it's not that easy to extend the RAM. Assume that if you have a laptop with 8 GB RAM, and if you feel that if you're not using this 8 GB and 4 GB is sufficient for you, it is not that easy to downgrade the RAM. It's not about the RAM, it's all about storages and everything, right? So if you are creating this in cloud platform, if you're creating your mission in the cloud platform, the first thing is scalability. So whenever you want, you can increase it. Whenever you don't want, you can decrease it. Second thing is, as I said, pay as you go. Whenever you're using it, you can start and run it. Whenever you're not using it, you can stop it. So there are a lot of benefits, and these are one of the two simple benefits. You'll also see a lot of different advantages when we discussed about a complete hardware. But today, I'm not going to confuse you. I just wanted to, you know, understand the difference between a physical machine and virtual machine. Let's go back, and this is our virtual machine. We stop the instance. And if I want to start it again, I can go to the instance state and I can start this again. It is a Windows computer. I'm just operating this Windows computer from my console. That's it. It's a VM. If I refresh it, so this particular VM will get started. Okay. Assume that if I don't want this anymore, if I wanted to delete this permanently, so what I can do, I can go to the instance state. I can delete it completely. I can delete it completely. If I'm using it for 1 hour, I'll be paying for 1 hour. If I'm using it for 8 hours, I'll be paying it for 8 hours. So that is the difference between physical machine and virtual machine. And AWS is not offering only creating of on VMs. AWS offering lot of services. We will explore many services while doing this. So today we just explored how to create a computer in AWS account, how to create a virtual machine in AWS account, and how to start it, and how to stop it, and how to delete it. The same thing that we will do it in next couple of classes also, but we will try to understand the steps. Today I've not explored I've not explored any steps. I just clicked on create instance and I've given the name, selected the operating system, and created a key pair, and I clicked on launch instance. But you have to understand all the steps while you are giving the name and after giving the operating system. So what are the different operating systems are available and what do we call it as? So we will try to explore that in the coming classes. But today we have seen about how to create a virtual machine in our AWS account. Now let's go back to the now let's try to list out the points what we have learned today. First thing, we have learned one point on what is cloud. What is cloud? So if someone asks you about a what is cloud, see, cloud is a fully furnished house for an IT infrastructure. Cloud platform is a fully furnished house for an IT infrastructure. See, assume that uh, if you got a job, like if you got a job and if you want to travel to somewhere in Bangalore or something, straight away you will not go and you will not buy a house with the 2 crores rupees, right? So what you will do? You'll go for a rental basis. And based on that, you'll be paying for it. Let's say if I go for a hostel without air conditioner, without washing machine, I'll pay for it. If I opt for air conditioner, if I opt for water washing machine or something, I'll pay that. Similar to that, whenever you're starting a company, whenever you want to do something, so hardware, procuring a hardware plays very major role because you have to invest a lot of rupees there, lot of amount there. Because if you observe any college or anything, the minimum investment that they had to put on the physical infrastructure is they have to procure they have to procure server, they have to procure switches, they have to procure routers, they have to procure cables, air conditioner should be there, a room should be there, a admin should be there, power bill will be there, power backup will be there. So these are all the minimum investments. Whenever you start a company or whenever company in the sense you can start a college or a school or anything, whatever it is, the IT infrastructure is mandatory, right? Without IT, there is nothing. Even it is a hotel also, there should be some IT infrastructure. There will be a running, there are running some applications like billing applications or something. So they have to put this infrastructure. So one thing, investment is more, at the same time, maintenance is more. If you are going for a cloud, you don't need to invest anything since it is a pay-as-you-go model. Since it is a pay-as-you-go model, you don't need to invest. You don't need to buy a server. Simply, you can go to the cloud platform and you can create a server. And if you don't want, you can delete that. If you want, you can start that. Right? You don't need to air conditioner, room, nothing you require because you are not maintaining it. Cloud is maintaining it, right? AWS will take care of all that stuff. You have to just pay for whatever you want. Earlier days, 90% of people supposed to maintain this physical infrastructures. Everyone is supposed to maintain this physical infrastructure. Everyone. Later on, after some days, there are a few companies which enters into the market and says that why do you guys are maintaining your physical infrastructure in your premises? So we will maintain that and pay for a rental for us. And that got a huge success. And many of them is they gave contract to those companies, so they're supposed to maintain their hardware and they are just using it. The other companies are just using it. And after a few days, cloud computings like Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, GCP, they all enters into the market. And here is very simple. Just like that, whatever you see in few minutes back. I just need a computer. You know how difficult it is to get a computer if you're not having a cloud, going and purchasing it. And just now, few minutes back, you have seen that to create a computer, it took just 2 minutes for us. We logged into the AWS account. We just clicked on launch instance and we created a computer and we logged in. And when we don't want, we can be immediately, we deleted it. On demand, whenever you want, you're creating it. Whenever you don't want, you're deleting it. So because of this, a lot of companies enters like using these cloud platforms. It can be AWS or it can be GCP or it can be Azure or it can be any other cloud platform. The basic funda is same. Any cloud platform, the fundamental is same. Only the service names and the configurations will be different. So if you are good at one particular cloud platform, okay, you can explore the other cloud platforms as well. And one more thing is, who are using the cloud platform, they won't come back to the on-premises again. They might move to the different cloud platform, but they won't come back to the on-premises. So if you are learning these cloud platforms, so tomorrow, today you might work with AWS. Tomorrow you might work with Azure or GCP. You don't need to come back to the on-premises again. So our career will have some guarantee that for next 10 years or 15 years, whatever it is, so definitely cloud platforms will be there. It can be AWS or it can be Azure or it can be anything. They won't come back to the on-premises again. So still, definitely they'll use the only cloud platforms, and better to have this cloud platform in our resumes. Okay. So today we have seen about what is the cloud, and we have seen what is the difference between physical machine and virtual machine. And we have created a Windows machine and we logged into the Windows machine. And now I'm open to the Q&A, and tomorrow we'll move to the another topic. Okay. Clear, guys? So I'll just list out. So we try to understand difference between physical machine and virtual machine, and what is the pay-as-you-go model, and how to create a Windows computer and how to log into it, and what is cloud. What is cloud? So now you can unmute and you can ask if you have any questions. Any questions, guys? Lalita, Preet, Srinivas, Vamsi, Deeksha. If you have any questions, you can unmute and you can ask. Can you just give me some feedback about this session? Is it clear or is it little confused or something? If you do not have any questions, can you just give us a feedback? Is it good or is it little confused or whatever it is, so that I can improve that for tomorrow? Okay. Others, can you please respond? Is it clear? So today our motto is to just understand what is the difference between physical machine and virtual machine, and what is cloud. Deeksha, is it clear? Mohammed, is it clear? Srinivas, is it clear? Any questions? Any questions? And today we'll have 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. a mentoring session. 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. a mentoring session. So please join to the session. And in this session, as of now, you will not be having the AWS account, right? I will be providing the AWS account to practice what we have done today. Today, we have created a Windows machine in our AWS account, right? So this, you can practice it. To practice this, we provide our AWS account until you create your AWS account, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. So I will be providing the link in the WhatsApp community itself. So where you people are already there. So evening time, if required, we can change it either 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. or 5. Yeah. So 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. is also fine. 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. is also fine. Okay. So if this time is not matches for anyone, so you can also reach out to me so that I can arrange, a mentoring session as per your convenience as well. Okay, we'll try to fix some time. So please attend this mentoring session. Okay, so you'll get your AWS account for 1 week. So log into the AWS account and practice whatever we have done here. Clear, guys?
Yeah,
So
okay.
please don't miss the mentoring session. So we will go a little slow for a couple of days because I don't want to rush for a couple of days. So I just wanted to stick to the point which I'm going to explain. So there are a lot many things which I'm going to explain. What is a server? What is an IP address? What is a network? And how the AWS services will be provided. So we'll talk about everything. But before getting into this, the main agenda is what is physical, what is virtual. These two things you have to be very clear. Okay?
Okay.
Done, guys? Any
Yeah.
questions from anyone? Any questions? Any feedbacks? So always feel free to reach out to me. So you all have my number. So I'll always, I'm also writing the number here, 8179886658. So you can reach out to this number if you have any feedback or if you need anything, something else, you can also drop me a message or you can directly call me. Okay. So 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. your mentoring session. And if you need any other timing, please reach out to me on WhatsApp or please call me. So there will be a link. I'm going to add it in the chat box or in our WhatsApp community, and get your AWS account and try to create that Windows machine and try to log into that Windows machine. And if you face any issue while doing it, our mentor will help you, or I'll also be there in the group call. Clear? Okay, then